What did you say? You cannot change.
You cannot change your head when you have headache. So
Hey, Mehmet. Hi.
find you.
I'm okay. Mehmet, when you came to Japan, you didn't know a lot of Japanese, yeah?
I didn't know almost anything.
How did-
Only just counting a little bit and konnichiwa, that's all.
And how did you get the job?
How did I get the job? My wife's uncle had a friend and he had a factory, small factory, bearing factory. So they contact each other and they explain about my experience on machines. So he said he needs someone who is good at machines. So I started there. It's a small factory. It was cheap salary and not good condition, but it was a good beginning, better than nothing. So I started there and almost no Japanese. So he has some guy, his friend. He can speak in English, and he came for translation some often. So I cannot speak Japanese, but as machines are my job, so I didn't need Japanese at that time. So I was just doing my job. When I see machine, I can understand what the machine doing, how the machine working. So I just keep continuing on the machine. So I was expecting it's going to take time, but in 1 week I started to do some Kaizen or something on the machine. I started to fix. It was a good beginning for me because I cannot speak anything in Japanese, but I was teaching them how to do Kaizen on machines by translator, of course. And then after 6 months, there were some problems in the company. They didn't do what they said, so I quit the job.
Contract
I was
problem.
agreement because he said I'm not going to work in production long time, and he said later 1 more year, and he didn't salary up. I was doing obviously good things because in Japan it's not so common thing, that kind of improvements on production. Production development is very weak thing in Japan. So then I quit. Then I work in ramen company. It's completely different thing. But I need to work because of visa. Because if you don't work anywhere, when you apply for visa, you cannot get it easily because they directly check how much money, how much tax you pay in 1 year. Is the most important thing. If you pay regularly tax, if you pay regular tax, so it's good sign for visa. And then I worked maybe around 2 years, 1.5 years something. So
at the ramen shop, the salary was better, or they're about the same?
yeah, if you compare total, once the ramen shop was better because I was shining the company because they cannot find worker easily. It's a big problem. That's why Kanshu say, who is like a trainer, they call another people from another countries like China, like Indonesia, Thailand. So they are so popular here. They work 2 or 3 years and then they go back to their own country. So I work in ramen company, but they also another detail. Everyone thinks Japanese people are honest. They don't say lies, something, but it's not true. My first 2 company, I was lied. So
because of your contract.
yeah, contract. The first company said money increase, and I'm not going to work in production site long time, but they changed later. And the second company, about bonus money, they didn't want to pay bonus money. They said after 1 year finish, then when I get bonus right, they will pay me. But normally, from the beginning, through by themselves. So I didn't like that. And then I changed company again. And then at that time, I know you, so you introduced me to work there. That was the maybe best job until that time.
Longest and the longest.
No, the working condition. Because another companies like ruined companies. And so I didn't have much options, so I had to do something. So I worked, I don't remember exactly. And by the time the work was getting heavier, because in Japan, improvement and understanding of improvement is a little bit different. When they want to improve the production quantity, they are just pushing people, work longer working hours, do your job faster, something like that. But it's not correct way. I mean, if you want to do something, you must improve another things. For example, when you put something in oven, the recipe says 200 degree 15 minutes. But if you want to cook in 10 minutes, if you make it 250 degree, so it will burn. It's something like that. So you need to do all condition well, then you can do another things. So then I quit from that company also. Then I started company, small companies, office companies, providing
Recruitment services.
I don't know the correct word in English, even in Turkish. So they are providing people for companies. So I worked there 6 months. Why 6 months? Because when I first started the job, they said after 6 months they will take me as a shine.
Shine? What is shine?
Shine is
A permanent employee.
permanent employee. And I will work in maintenance department because of my machine knowledge. So 6 months later, they didn't accept me to maintenance department. So I said, you didn't do what you said, so I cannot work anymore. Then I quit because no meaning. I was looking for something better according to my profession. My wife's
So that is the third time the Japanese company is cheating to you.
yeah. The third one is not exactly cheating, but third time my Haken Kaisha applied maintenance department. They said we have that guy, he has knowledge about machines. So after interview they said my Japanese is not enough. I need to email contact with customers by email, so I need to use kanji and everything else. So that's why they didn't accept me. So it's not like cheating, but only I couldn't pass the test
You couldn't read
about
that right.
about Japanese. And then I don't know, engine block maker company in Japan. So I was working there as a technician. Just a moment. We were making diesel forklift engines. So I worked maybe around 2 years, and then there was a corona problem all over the world. So as another car maker companies, so they just fired all all people if they are not permanent worker. So I was one of them. So they fire all of us. And after that, I got, until that time, I paid 5 years tax continuously. So I applied job center, and they said, so I paid everything the correct way. So I have right to get 6 months unemployment benefits. So if another good thing, they offer you 6 months the benefits, but if you find any job in 6 months, for example 3 months, they will give you another 3 months, 60% of another 3 months by cash. That means they are supporting you to find a job. And after 3 months or maximum 4 months, I started. So I couldn't finish that 6 month period. So I got some money by cash. And I'm working I was working actually until yesterday, 1.5 years a technician, but not permanent worker. So if you're not a permanent worker, you don't have any right to say anything in companies. So you are just doing your job and going home, that's all. No question. And 2 months ago, through my friends, I got news because my friend is an engineer and he knows I'm good at machines. So his friend has a small factory and they were looking for some experienced technician, and he recommended me about CNC machines or CAD/CAM, designing, machining, that kind of things. And they wanted to meet with me. So my friend told me that. So I said, okay, it's my profession, so I would like to, even if I don't start there, I would like to meet with them. And then when I went there, they liked my skills because I worked there for 2 days. Like a test. So in first day, afternoon, even before the day finish, they said, okay, it's enough we saw, so we can start. And it's our condition. Their condition was good. They offered me shine, I mean permanent worker, and money was better. So I decided to work there, and from next week, 3 days later, I will start there. So I will just wait and see what's going to happen. The Japanese companies are really conservative. So being conservative is good for keeping some traditions. Like, as everyone know, the kimono, katana, and Japanese teapots, pottery, something is good for keeping that kind of culture. Culture is good for culture, but for technology, if you are conservative, it's dangerous because world always improving itself. So the Kaizen is Japanese word. Kaizen means improvement. They made that word, the Kaizen word, the improving production and improving something. But recently, maybe last 20, 30 years, they cannot apply it because after Second World War, there are lots of, actually, is my observation. There are lots of engineers who are sent to another countries like America, like Europe, and then they learn about machines, they learn about car technologies, and then they brought the technologies to Japan. So it was the very good time for Japan to improve in technology. But after that, what was the word? Conservative. After that, their conservative blood just came out, So my teacher taught me the best thing, so I cannot do better. That feeling just block their way, so they couldn't improve themselves. After that time of period, maybe 20, 30 years, finish. That generation, after that generation, gone. Of course, some big companies, as R&D department, and that kind of companies, they can do that. But especially in middle and small companies, they cannot do that. Only big Toyota, Honda, that kind of big company do it, because they have department for that. They have engineering departments, they have R&D departments. So it was good in that company. Well, medium and small companies really hopeless basically. So it makes problem in companies. So if something broken, most of people cannot fix it. They just change it. So if you cannot fix it, that means you don't understand what's going on inside. So when you need to fix, you cannot change everything. When you need to fix something, you cannot fix it. You are just looking at that thing.
Spare.
Like, the line stopped because of quality problem. The machine stopped. And then how many months machine stopped? And then they called maker company. Maker company didn't understand the problem, and they offered to change one part of the machine. And then they changed the one part of the machine, but the still same quality problem. So then they asked me, like joking, so what do you think about that? And I checked the quality problem, I analyzed that. So I decided maybe there is some problem like this, and I recommended them to change some settings on the machine. They changed the setting on the machine, and then when they started the machine, there were no quality problem. It's gone, and everyone's surprised because the problem solved in half an hour. But the machine waited for 6 months
With a new part.
and also they ordered new part, and new part couldn't solve the problem also. Anyway, so that means you cannot change your head when you have headache. So sometimes the solution is simpler than what you think.
What did you say? You cannot change.
You cannot change your head when you have headache. So
You had to throw in that line and kill it from there.
Who?
You had to throw that line and kill the interview there. Anyway, people, thank you for watching. That's Mehmet and his working life in Japan. Hope he talks to us again about life in Japan and how you manage to get along, making friends and all that. On another day, I'll get him again and let's hear from him what he has to say. See you. Take care.
See you.
Love you all. Bye.